Early one morning, Thomas was happily dozing in the shed when his fireman came along to start work. "Wake up, Thomas," he said. Thomas drowsed comfortably as the warmth spread through his boiler. He liked that feeling very much as he began to fill up steam in his pistons. "I like a good warm fire," he sighed happily. "It's fine in your firebox when I'm here. I can look after it and keep it safe, but it's very dangerous if it gets out of control." Thomas agreed, and with steam at the right pressure, they went to fetch Annie and Clarabelle. As he shunted himself into the station master came to see him. "It's a scorcher today. Mind you go, Thomas. The grass is dry from the lack of rain we've been having, and all your cinders and ashes might burn up the dry grass." "Yes, sir," replied Thomas. He knew it would be a tough day, but someone had to look after the passengers. When he arrived at the big station, Thomas ran round to Clarabelle, ready for his return journey. As he did so, he saw a group of firefighters standing around some express coaches. One of them was a figure that the little blue engine recognized. "Mr. Kyndley," Thomas whistled. "Hello, Thomas. Haven't seen you in a while." "The same to you, Mr. "Please, Thomas, call me Reginald. I've known you for years." "Reginald? What's going on here?" "Ah, yes. This is a training ground for our new volunteer firefighters. I'm the chief firefighter, and it's my job to train these young lads on how to control fires during this time of the year. The Fat Controller has agreed to let us use these old coaches for our practice. Anyway, Mustache, great to see you again, Thomas. Goodbye." As Thomas waited for his guide, he saw the firefighters in training. There had been a lot of shouting and screaming, and firefighters carrying dummies out of the carriages and placing them somewhere safe. "That's another type of fireman, Thomas. They are trained to fight more dangerous fires and to help people if they're in serious distress." Then they set off. But Thomas couldn't help but worry as they left the big station. With the lack of rain that the island had been facing for the past few weeks, he wondered what could happen in a fire emergency. As they neared Terrence's field, the signal light turned red. Thomas's driver applied the brakes, and they stopped just in time. Thomas was rather confused by this. "Why have we stopped? We just saw Toby back at Hackenbeck." Then they saw Terrence the tractor come right from the road and roll towards Thomas.
"Thomas, the Kyndley cottage is on fire."
Then Thomas could smell a burning kind of smell. The driver could see from above the tunnel a plume of black smoke. He called control, and with their permission granted, they puffed back towards Hackenbeck. Then the driver ran to the station master's office and telephoned the fire brigade. But there was worse to come. The fire brigade has put out another fire at Farmer McColl's farm and are on their way, but they haven't had enough time to fill up with another lot of water. Sirens were blaring in the distance. The fire brigade had arrived, but one of them had arrived on Terrence. It was Reginald Kyndley. "What else of water? We need you, Thomas." Thomas's driver, having heard Reginald's cry for help, wasted no time in uncoupling him from Annie and Clarabelle, and Thomas puffed away with Reginald Kyndley in his cab. "Be careful, Thomas!" cried the two coaches. "Don't worry," whistled Thomas. "I will be." They parked Thomas outside the tunnel, and Thomas gasped to see the state of the Kyndley house. The firefighters placed the hose into one of these water tanks. Alright. 3, 2, 1! But before they could get any water from his tanks, Mr. Kyndley felt a drop, and then another, and another, and another, until it began to rain. It started to drizzle, and then it came down harder and harder. And as if by luck, the fire went out completely. Everyone cheered. It's a miracle. Mother Nature was on our side. A shame about my house, though. They said it was bad wiring, and I didn't even know about it. I hope nothing happened to my stuff. A good job I packed my late wife's things away in the storage locker. That's good to hear. And I'm sorry about your house. I hope you'll find another place to stay. Well, that's alright. I might stay at my granddaughter's place over in Wellsworth. She and her daughter just moved there last year. With the fire now put out by the rain, the firefighters packed away their gear, ready to go back to base. Mr. Kyndley had said thank you to Thomas and his crew for the warning, and with permission from the signalman, Thomas, who had still plenty of water in his boiler, puffed back to the last station to collect his coaches. Fire can be dangerous. Luckily we access water just about anywhere, be it from a hose, a steam engine, or even some from the sky.